This is an educational example based on my personal approach. Results vary widely, and nothing here guarantees profit or future performance. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I want you to go ahead and ensure you are subscribed to my channel. And for those of you that have been watching me for months and months, and you've been curious about should I jump in her community, I think the time is now. We are doing some really cool things in the community. We have made a lot of money in premium this week, and we have put on a variety of trades. Our members are thriving, and I want you to be a part of that fun. So click the link below, and I want you to apply to join my community. We'll set up a brief call. We'll show you everything. I would love to start off the new year helping you learn how to trade options for a living. And I want to thank all of you. You know what? Y'all crack me up. All of you. I was watching a video. I was starting to get some interesting comments on it. And basically what was happening in the background, there was a neighbor that was on the roof, and the comments about that neighbor being on the roof, it was cracking me up. The neighbor's fine. He did not fall off the roof. But y'all entertain me so much. All right, let's talk about today's topic. So the FOMC meeting has come and gone, and the world did not fall apart. Everyone was surprised that Jerome Powell actually gave the rate cut, and then he actually, showed a measured approach. He did not kill the opportunity for additional rate cuts next year, and he left the door open, but a measured approach, which he normally does offer a measured approach. I'm not sure if all of you noticed, but he seemed very nervous at the beginning of his speech. I would love all of your comments about what you think about the whole dynamic with the rate cuts and where you think we should be next year. I've been watching Polymarket and Robinhood futures. It's really interesting when you start to see what the public is thinking about all of the rate cut decisions. But one thing that dawned on me is because all of this is over, it really has given a green light to those that have been sitting on the sidelines and wanting to get into the market. So my perspective is that we will have a push into the end of the year, and that everyone will try to be getting that last little bit of money out of the market. And so it's going to create a unique situation if that comes to pass. And you're going to see potentially some of your stocks that you had 100 shares of and you sold covered calls, you're going to see it blow through your strike price. And that's frustrating because you want to take advantage of the upward momentum in stocks. So I have a potential solution for you that I wanted to go over with you. Actually, there's several things that you can do. So the things that I'm going to focus on today, they are going to involve how to take an additional trade that will allow you more upside. Now, when you do something like this, I'm going to be talking about purchasing calls, skips, and leaves to take advantage of additional upside. There's a timing of it based on the RSI that I want you to consider that gives you a higher probability that the stock will keep moving forward. So I'm going to go over all of that with you so that you're well prepared and you know when to deploy this option if you have covered calls on your shares. So we're going to look at some specific stocks that I think might be ready for what I'm about to show you. We're going to look specifically at the Qs, we're going to look at Robinhood, and we're going to look at Palantir. They're all at a really interesting point, and you might be able to use this trade hack to enjoy more upside if you're limited by your covered calls. But for starters, let me help you not get into the situation where covered calls are holding you back. There's some rules that I put together, and I'm going to leave that video at the end of this one. It's all about covered calls and how to avoid getting into this trap where you see your money tied up while you're hoping that a stock pulls back. What I like to do is I like to wait until the RSI is closer to 70 to actually put on a covered call. Now, it does require patience, but that allows me to maximize the ride up in price action on that Bollinger Band. And then I do not like going out more than 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe I'll go out a month, but I don't like to go out further than that because if it does continue to surge, then your money's locked up in that trade and you can't really do anything with it until the time has passed, unless you're going to buy it back for a loss, which that's never fun. So to keep out of that situation, I personally resist the urge to sell covered calls unless I think a stock is primed and ready. And again, I'll leave the video at the end that takes you through more dynamics on how to properly use covered calls so you're not limiting your upward movement when a stock is in a bullish mode. But for now, let's go into the computer. I'm going to show you the overall indexes, and then we're going to look specifically at those two stocks and what you can do if you want to uncap your covered calls. First, we're going to look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ, and I like where it is currently in its trading life cycle. First, I want you to focus right here on the RSI. So we are over 50. That means there are more buyers than sellers right now on the overall indexes. So that's good if you have on a bullish trade, but there is still room to the upside. We're not really into the overbought territory until the RSI is at 70 or above. So keeping that in mind, look right up here at the top of the Bollinger Band. We still have room to the upside as well. So if you have trades on the NASDAQ and you're selling maybe daily or weekly covered calls on the NASDAQ, it looks like there is some more room to the upside. So you could possibly put on one of the trades that I'm about to show you. So there's that one. Let's go ahead and look at the next ticker. Here's Robinhood. Now, it's come a far way in the last couple of weeks because it was really quite beat up. So it has been enjoying a run, but look here at the RSI. I'm on the 3-month chart looking at the RSI. It is the 14-day period. We're at 55, so we're just over 50, meaning there is room to run to the upside. And if you want to shoot for the top of the band, look right there at about 143, 144. So if you have a covered call on your shares, like let's say you have it at 135, then you're like, gosh, I really want to take advantage if it keeps running. I've got the potential solution for you. Now let's look at one more. Here we are at Palantir. Now, Palantir is 61 on the RSI, so it's a little bit higher than the others, and it is closer to the top of its band, but there is room up, especially with the news of the new contracts that they are receiving with the Navy and shipbuilding, and so there's a lot of potential room to Palantir's upside, even though it has that high PE ratio. But the fact that we're not at 70 gives me confidence that it could keep surging ahead, and so we're going to go look at some different levels on Palantir, but if you have a covered call on your shares, and you want to take advantage of it going past your covered call, I have a potential solution for you. I'm on the option chain for the NASDAQ for you. Now, if you're of the belief like me that the stock market will do fine going through the rest of this year and maybe even January, then you can take a trade, which is a purchased call. I call it a skip, anything 3 to 9 months out. If you want to go further with the leaps, it's going to be more expensive, but it will be safer. We're going to look at both options for you. So let's go ahead and look at something around March for our first expiration date. You could go right here. Let's go with March 31st. That's 111 days from now. It gives us time for this trade to work out in our favor. Now, when I'm looking at my deltas on the call side, because I'm purchasing a call, I want to start somewhere around this 0.6 area to best determine the best trade for me. And if you look right here at 620, this is the 0.6. This would cost me $33.71 a share. And if I want to look at something a little bit deeper in the money, this will actually help me get more as the Qs rise every dollar. It also would go down more if the Qs go down. But here's something to consider right here around 610. This is 0.65 on my deltas, and it would cost me $43 a share, but it would allow more upward movement. So if you're going to do this, you would want to have enough cash to put into this trade, and you would go with the 610 strike price expiring on March 31st. Now, here's what the delta tells you. Every dollar that the NASDAQ moves up or down, this, which you paid $43 for, will go up or down by 65 cents per share. So $65 for every dollar movement. And that gives you an idea of how that will work. Now, it's a lot cheaper than buying 100 shares of the NASDAQ, obviously. Now, if you're going to purchase one of these, it gives you a few months before we have any major time decay. So that's really positive. But I like to watch these when I buy skips. I usually like to put anywhere between a 30 to 50% stop loss on it to ensure that I preserve money if I selected the wrong time to buy this skip. Now, if you're going to go with a leap, you want to go out at least a year. So let's look all the way down right here. Let's go with something maybe around January of 2027 would be perfect, 401 days from now. So if you're looking at that, when I buy these, I like to look something around that 0.7 delta. That allows me a little bit more horsepower when the stock is moving in the right direction. So if you see right here, starting at 0.7, I like 590, but it only does have 1 on the volume. So this is kind of a low volume trade for me to actually make. I did notice though, right down here at 600, you have 4,000 in open interest, 254 in volume. Now this one's going to cost a lot more than that skip, but you get to take advantage of it for a lot longer. This one would cost you $87.50 a share, which again, it's a lot cheaper than $600 a share. Now, if you were to purchase this one, Every dollar that the NASDAQ moves, then you'll see something that you paid $87.50 for. It will move by another 67 cents. So if it were me, I'd more than likely buy this one. And then once I saw that we are 70 on the RSI, I might go ahead and cash this out. Next, we're going to look at Robinhood. We're going to look at a skip on 3/20 of 2026. Once I get to my option chain, I look over here to the left, and I want to start somewhere around that 0.6 delta. I see right here that 130. It has a lot of interest. This might be a good one. 130, and it would only cost me $21.86 instead of buying a share at 130. I like this because it has a lot of volume and open interest. If I wanted a little bit more horsepower, I might be interested in looking something at around 120, 125. Both of these, they're not too expensive, so this might be a good selection for those of you that think Robinhood has a little bit more room to the upside before it retreats. If you're looking for that leaps, let's go right here with 1/15/2027. That's 401 days away. And then looking on the option chain, I like to start right here at about 0.7. So this is the 125. It's got some volume and open interest, but look, if you go up here to this 110, it seems to have more attention. And then really, which is impressive, is right up here at 100. Now it's at a 0.8 delta. When traders are buying these, they really like these nice round numbers and these thresholds. So I really do like this one. It is $56 a share. So it's about half price of what you would pay if you were buying the stock outright, but you will get a lot of strong upward movement. So I like this one. I think I would make that purchase. You need $5,600 to make this purchase, but it would definitely uncap your covered costs. Now, what you want to look out for is if it retreats, if Robinhood retreats, then this that you paid $56 for, it will start becoming less expensive. So that's the risk in the trade. It's in a bullish mode with the RSI, but you do need to be aware that these are best purchased on a red day for a stock in a bullish mode. And if it fits the bill, then you're going to set yourself up for more success than if you buy this on a day that the stock is surging. Finally, let's look at PLTR for skips and leaps. If you go with the March date, let's take a look at where we are on this chain. If I start with that 0.6 delta, I see right here at 180. That's not a bad option for me right there. This would cost me $28.22 a share instead of the 180 a share. I do like that price better. And then if you look on your option chain, you want to just start looking for your volume and open interest. And all of these are very similar. I do see up here at the 150 mark, there is 5,000 open interest and 77 on the volume. This one might not be a bad selection for those of you that want to hold on to this a little bit longer. We're at a 0.8 delta, so that would cost you $47.45. Now let's go look at leaps. Going out to January again for my leaps on Palantir. Let's start at the 0.7 delta right here at the 170 mark. You have some volume and open interest, but this is the one that catches my attention. Your 160 strike along with your 150 strike. Both are very respectable with their deltas. They are at the 0.7 area. And so if you want to go with one of these, this 160 right here, it'll set you back $62.78 a share, so $6,278. But it's a lot cheaper than the $16,000 to buy 100 shares. So keep that in mind. If you decide to go with the 150, you would pay $67.95 a share instead of the 150. Or actually, if you were going to go buy these shares right now, you'd pay a lot more than the strike because you can't get these shares right now at the 150 level. You'd have to pay market rate. Market rate right now is going to cost you about $185 a share. So I really like the way these are set up. It allows you to take some upward momentum at a lower level, and you can always convert these into shares if Palantir continues to surge. I have one that I want to show you that I bought long ago. I'm going to convert it into shares instead of selling it. I'll go show you that one now. Here she is right here. There's 5 of them, and they are my pride and joy. I have been watching these grow up ever since I brought them into my portfolio. It was probably about a year ago, but it's the January 2026 $20 call. When I purchased these, they were $10.90 a share. Today, they sit at $168 a share. So as you can see, they've appreciated $78,000. Now, one thing that I am going to do, I am going to exercise this because I have the right to buy 100 shares of Palantir for each one of these contracts at $20. And I am going to keep those shares in my portfolio. That will help me in two ways. One, I'll get to hold on to the shares and I no longer have to worry about time decay of this option. But two, this $78,000, I don't want to be taxed on that this year. So what I will do is I will exercise this and it will allow me to take ownership of the shares, and then it will reset my clock and my cost basis. And when I decide to sell them later in time, that's when the tax will come due on it. So I really like that dynamic of exercising a leaps instead of actually just selling it for profit. So it's something for you to consider. You always want to check with your CPA first. Are you ready to trade tomorrow? Are you ready to get back into the markets? Do you feel like you got the green light, at least for now, as we close out the year? I hope you all feel a little bit more confident about trading after watching some of these videos. Remember, if you're with me, trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. And I do not have anyone in the background getting on or off of a roof, so I'm interested to see the comments or the things you zoom in on this video to share with everybody else. I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. We'll talk soon.